Yes, guys, welcome to another season review. If I speak, this is the one I've been most excited for obvious reasons. This is actually the Chelsea season review, and Kunal's kindly going to ask me some questions regarding Chelsea season, some interesting ones. Stay tuned for those. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us as well as smash the like and follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. We're active on those, and also go check out the other season reviews we've done so far. Kunal did a very interesting, insightful one on Man United. Do you want to give him a quick overview on what that was about?
It was just about how I enjoy Oli being manager and that we've been moving forward for the past 2 seasons, and if he gets bagged, I think that he can do a lot more. So
Yeah,
that's just.
that's the gist of it. But if you want to watch the full, insightful detail, Man United fans or any other fans, go check that out. We also did a Tottenham one as well with Nandu. He gave
Nobody
us,
want to watch that. Nobody wants to watch it.
except Spurs fans who would be interested to know that they might have a manager confirmed as well. So check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll get into this. Kunal, take it away, bro. This is the
Yeah.
Chelsea season review.
All right. So your background is pretty evident, right?
Yeah.
First of
I'm
all,
keeping this
uh,
forever, man. Until we lose it, which we won't. We're retaining it next year, man. I'm telling you now.
all right. So first of all, tell me what did you think of the performance that you had that night, and then how does it feel to be the champions of Europe?
So, firstly, Champions of Europe. It's a bit unbelievable, but looking at all the conspiracies, I kind of saw it happening, which is why I predicted all the way in March when we were the groups have like Champions League is our year this year, just because we're performing so well in there, as well as even the knockout rounds. We were fantastic. Like I've been watching the highlights again of like the knockout rounds and take the emotion out of it because at the time when you're watching it, you're a bit scared. But looking back on the games, we were comfortable for 4 or 5 games. Like maybe except the Real Madrid Chelsea first leg got me a bit nervous because Real Madrid did play well after we scored a goal, but genuinely we were comfortable throughout the whole tournament. If anyone disagrees saying Chelsea didn't deserve to win it, then you don't watch ball at all. So, and I'm shameless about it that we won the Champions League as well. So it's just really exciting and happy, especially with all the grief that rival fans have been giving Chelsea as well for the signings of the seasons and like Lampard obviously getting sacked as well. So in that sense, it's been proper successful for us. And yes, rival fans can shut up now. And I'm being shameless about this. I'll keep sending posts. I'll keep mentioning it, man. Because if it's the opposite, yeah. If we had lost
Right, right,
this,
right.
I know rival fans would be onto me or onto Chelsea fans. So
I
we
wouldn't have been.
messed
I
it
would
up.
have been mourning because City won.
Yeah, exactly. But rival fans would have been onto us. So
Yeah.
vice versa, I'm going to give it the other way because we deserve this 100%. And the amount Chelsea have been through this year and last year in the Champions League, like we definitely deserve this.
Right. So if I mean I remember watching the game and it was nervy throughout because Chelsea went ahead and they just started defending. They didn't create a lot more. There was that one great chance that Pulisic missed. I
Yeah.
mean, it was 50-50, but then he missed it, right? So looking back at the game, how do you think that Chelsea performed in that final specifically, and do you think that you could have done something better?
In terms of better, I maybe it's just same old story with Chelsea being more clinical because obviously we got Timo Werner up front, and you're not going to get clinical out of him. So it could have realistically been about 3 or 4. But if we're talking about the performance on the night, I thought 1 to 11, everyone was superb. Even Timo Werner, it was a typical Timo Werner performance where on the ball, not so great. Getting into correct positions, fantastic. His runs off the ball as well, fantastic. I also looked at this like I've been looking at quite a lot of tactical analysis sort of things on like LinkedIn and YouTube, and it's quite interesting how Tuchel set up to try and drag Diaz out using Werner as like a decoy,
Right.
and that really helped us. And the fact that Havertz, Mount picked up his pockets in the middle as well were really good. Even the flanks as well, like Reece James and
It
Ben
was a
Chilwell.
surprise that it was a surprise that they didn't play a CDM, and then you
Exactly.
exploited that perfectly.
Which is why, like, when I saw the lineup, I was like, "What? Pep's not playing a CDM?" That's why I got a bit excited, but at the same time, I'm like, Pep's trying something new, so it could work out. But at the same time, I was like, "Nah, we've definitely got this because we have the man of the moment in N'Golo Kante." And shout out to him as well; he's been superb, almost his whole Champions League for us, and definitely carried us some games, especially this one as well. Pocketed De Bruyne, pocketed Mahrez, pocketed everyone, man. And even when Thiago Silva went off, I was worried as well. because we needed that leadership at the back and that experience. And out of the 22 players, he was the most experienced one, and losing him was quite big. But then we had the Danish Maldini come back, man. We had Andreas Christensen. This guy, a lot of people don't remember him because a lot of people think that we bought him for loads of money, but he was actually one of our academy players. I think just because he's not English, people assume that we bought him, but he came for our academy as well. So he's another one of our academy prospects that have won the Champions League. I don't think he's in the picture of the Chelsea players, the academy lot. I can't remember actually, but special shout out goes to him because he's turned around this season quite a lot, and as well as Rudiger as well was superb. Made a superb block against Foden. That was a pivotal moment in the game as well, I think. And yeah, just the overall performance from everyone. Mendy was superb, commanding as always. And Jorginho as well. I've criticised this guy a lot because I notice every time we lose, I do blame Jorginho, and it's justified because there are moments where he stuffed up really badly. The West Brom game, even the Arsenal game where we lost as well, were solely his fault, in my opinion. So yeah, it feels great, man. Champions of Europe, man. It's been 9 years.
But
9 years.
You
man.
can't really blame Mendy, right? Because when he was 22, he was homeless. He did not have any money in his pocket.
Which is why it makes
he wasn't a professional footballer, and then he's 27 and the champion of Europe.
It just shows, like, everyone watching this, like, just work hard. Honestly, it pays off in the end. So that's a little thought to add in there. But yeah, he's done superb as well, and I'm sure we'll get onto the signing of the season later on. So I'll talk about those later on. But yeah, I can't. It's just unbelievable, to be honest. I was almost close to tears just watching it, just because of how much Chelsea fans have been through this season, as well as last in the Champions League. So, and obviously United fans are very happy that we did them a favour. So
absolutely, City fans wouldn't have shut up about it.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, and yeah, the oil tap has stopped now for now. So until
oil tap won't stop. They'll keep.
No, it won't stop. Yeah, it'll keep going. But yeah.
All right. So let's go back to the start of the season. Lampard was obviously your manager, and then you bagged him pretty well. You spent around 250 million in the summer transfer window. At the beginning of the season, when you're comparing it to the end of the season, do you think that you could have done better or things could have gone differently? And this is solely from a perspective where you know that Lampard was the manager and you didn't know that Tuchel was going to come in and be so brilliant.
I think it's just down to experience, because at the end of the day, Lampard's only had one managerial job before that, which was at Derby, and regardless if he didn't get the promoted, he did a sensational job at Derby. Brought through players like Tomori, Mason Mount, Harry Wilson as well, and a couple of others from Derby. And Mason Mount is the reason why. Frank Lampard is the reason why Mason Mount is in this team now. And even Thiago Silva posted on his Instagram as well. It's like, I'm grateful for Frank Lampard for bringing me here. And let's not forget as well, last season Frank Lampard had no Eden Hazard, where we just lost him, and also an unfit N'Golo Kante, who was out for most of the season. And we were playing academy lot for the whole season, and he got us for top 4. So that just shows that he did a great job with us. I think he's one of those managers where he'll get the best out of what he's got, not necessarily with the players that he bought. I think it was just too much pressure for him in the end, and obviously at the time I was fuming that he got sacked because I thought he deserved to end of the season. But now looking back on it in hindsight, it was the correct decision. I think for me the turning point was I think the Arsenal game and the Manchester City game that we had in December, where we lost both games. That's where I kind of was like, yeah, I don't know what Frank's doing here. And you could tell as well, a lot of fans were frustrated as well. And at Chelsea, we're a ruthless but successful club, so we'll do everything it takes to get success, or Roman Abramovich will even. So in hindsight, it was the correct decision. Like, obviously, we all wish Frank well and stuff with his next job, but regardless, I don't care what anyone says, he's done a great job for Chelsea, or he did a great job for Chelsea last year. And fair enough, it doesn't work this year. Maybe you can gain some experience, maybe take the Everton job or the Crystal Palace job potentially. That'll be a good stepping stone for him, or maybe go to one of the Championship clubs and redevelop himself, just like Steven Gerrard did as well. So looking at that, yeah, it was the right decision. And in terms of sort of where we're at today, I don't think Frank Lampard would have got us to where we are today, because he was kind of stubborn in his tactics and his formations. Like, we were seeing a lot of 4-3-3, and we were seeing like Kante, Mount and Havertz in the midfield 3. We see Timo Werner on the left wing, which is not his best position, obviously, because the kings of those positions are like the Mo Salahs, Mane's, Rashford as well. Greenwood's done really well there as well, and then you've got Sterling.
Pulisic
Sane.
has done as well himself.
Yeah, Pulisic as well. So that's another player as well where Frank Lampard didn't really deal with him too well, because every time he came back from injury, he just chucked him in straight. Same with Ziyech as well. They both had hamstring problems this season, and in terms of his player management, it wasn't the best at times this season with new players. But obviously Frank's going to be happy that we won the Champions League. He's Chelsea through and through.
Right.
And yeah, that's all I have to say on Frank, really.
So you've mentioned it time and again on the podcast, and over again, sometimes to take a dig at you, that you went out and spent 250 million, which no other club in the world was able to do during this pandemic. And yet when you started the season, you didn't look like title contenders. You didn't look like you didn't look anywhere near the top. And come end of the season, you're champions of Europe. So who do you think of those signings would you say was your signing of the season?
Yeah, so I know we talked off air just briefly about who my signing of the season is, because I remember you asking me who's your signing of the season. I was like, I'll let you know, you'll see who it is. But initially, I would have gone for Mendy just because of the impact he's made in goal for us. And don't get me wrong, he's totally up there. But I think one player that's really stood out for me, especially the second half of the season, is Ben Chilwell. I think he's definitely been our signing of the season. I know it's a bit different and everyone's probably not going to agree with me, but I think the impact he's made at left back, left wing back has been really good going forward defensively, because we've seen so many problems at left back and with left wing back before with Emerson and Alonso. Like, both of them just not footballers, to be honest. Maybe chuck Alonso up front, he'll do a job, but Ben Chilwell's definitely stabilised that left-hand side. And playing next to Rudiger as well has been sensational, to be honest. And I can't remember any sort of bad game that Chilwell's had this season. Maybe one or two, but you get that with players. They have one or two bad games. So yeah, if my signing of the season actually goes to Ben Chilwell, which is maybe quite a surprise for you, actually.
Absolutely, because now that you say it, it's a no-brainer, but I guess it's because you're playing a back five now, because when you were signing him, I always thought that Ben Chilwell was good going forward, but defensively he wasn't that great. So I always thought that he would leave that left flank open for one of the best strikers.
He was superb against Man City as well. There were times where he'd cover Rudiger and Thiago Silva and was just on the cover all the time.
But a system where there are five at the back works for him, and you've been able to integrate him.
It does,
but when he was playing, when he was playing under Lampard, he didn't look so sure. But since Tuchel has come in, he has been really good. So I understand where you're coming from. And now moving on. So just I've mentioned this again. You backed Lampard in the summer, then you sacked Lampard and brought in Tuchel. How do you think that Tuchel has done with Chelsea, and how does it feel? What do you think will happen going forward?
Oh, Thomas Tuchel, he surprised everyone. As I said before, he surprised Chelsea fans. He's surprised rival fans as well, because the job he's done, I can't remember any manager that's funny enough. Roberto Di Matteo, he's the only one that's turned it around drastically and stuff. And if you look at it, if you're looking at trophies, Di Matteo actually achieved more than Tuchel because he won the FA Cup as well.
Right.
But Tuchel has just been amazing. We've only lost I think maybe a total of 4 games under him, and those are sort of nothing games where we lost to Porto 1-0. I think that was the only sort of less meaningful game. I mean, we lost to Arsenal, obviously, lost to Leicester in the FA Cup final, and I can't remember the other one, but West Brom, yeah, that's it. But he's been sensational. He's turned the club around. He's brought the fans to believe again. And even going into games now, I can believe that we win. Because under a certain time under Lampard, it was just the same old every time. We predictable to play against.
When Tuchel came in, it's like he had a target on his back because he had taken the place of this Chelsea legend Frank Lampard.
Yeah. And there were a lot.
He's done very well.
And to be fair, there was a lot of pressure on him as well, because when Lampard left us, obviously we were 9th place. Nobody gave us a chance for top 4 at all. Even me, I was like, would have to settle for Europa League next year. But went on that amazing run, as well as changing the system as well, which was key actually, and bringing back players that supposedly fell out with Lampard. And brought them back, and lit a firework in the basically, and they've been amazing. So Thomas Tuchel's done sensational. And the thing is with Chelsea fans, like, we kind of expect him to go, but not yet in a sense, because we just know the Chelsea way. Like, we know he'll get sacked, but obviously we do want a long-time manager. But it's always suited us, the fact that we keep changing managers. So even me, I'm not expecting Thomas Tuchel to stay for 2 or 3 years, to be honest. I don't know when he'll stay. Maybe we'll see how it goes next season. But and there's also room for improvement as well. We've seen with the team lineups as well that he sort of put out against Leicester and Arsenal, where he's kind of said, yeah, that's my fault. So he's definitely going to improve as a manager. Like, no manager's perfect. We've seen that even with Faggy as well. He's not perfect either. Even though he's the greatest manager of all time, he's definitely had rocky roads. And Thomas Tuchel's definitely got the same right now. So he will definitely improve. And we'll have to see what happens next season with supposedly, I think he wants 3 players for next season. I think he'll be given 200 million to spend. So kind of worried about that. But
where do you get that money from?
Well, we qualified for top 4. That's one. We won the Champions League. We get that as well. We get TV money, and you'll be surprised to know how good our recruitment and also selling players is. Like, the capability of that. Like, we can easily sell players for at least 25, 30 million. Yes. I know that Emerson wants
I guess
to
you've already sold Tomori.
Almost. It's
almost done.
More. Yeah, and we're getting 30 million for him. Like, it's a shame because I want him to stay, because I do think he's a sensational player. But with the players that performing right now, he doesn't get into the team, and that's 30 million there. We still have to sell all the loan players that we've got out right now, like Bakayoko, still on loan from us as well. We've got some other random players in different leagues as well. Someone else as well that came to mind, but I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, we just keep making money. Like, we're just amazing at that, and our recruitment's not the best at times. Like, we've definitely had flop signings, but we'll always make money regardless, and we'll always spend. And that's what I love about this club. The owner cares.
Right. Yeah.
Compared to other clubs, like Romovich, fair enough. Like, he did all this Super League stuff, and he's made some questionable.
I guess he was just pressurized into it. He didn't want to do it himself.
Yeah, but
he just didn't want to be left out.
But still, it's not a great look for Chelsea. But at the same time, he'll do everything he can to help Chelsea and get Chelsea there, because our standards are here. And if you look at teams like Arsenal, no offense, man, their standards are here. Because if they want to get back to here, they have to sack Arteta, man. That's just how it is. But this ain't an Arsenal review, man. This is Chelsea, man. We're champions of Europe, for God's sake. So, yeah.
Now, going into next season, obviously you want to be Premier League champions, because in England, for English teams, that's the bread and butter. Even though the Champions League is a major trophy, it is you are the kings of Europe. But we've always said in England that the league is the bread and butter. Yeah. So going forward, what do you think? What positions do you think that you need to strengthen in order to be Premier League champions? Because City seem to be unbeatable at the moment. Yeah. You have beaten them in the final, but over the course of 38 games, they seem to do very well.
Yeah. So the 3 positions I'd probably say. One for definite is striker. We definitely need a striker, because it says it all that Jorginho is our top scorer in the Premier League. So that's proof that we need a striker. And with Werner up front as well, we know he's not going to be clinical. Even with Havertz at times as well. And Giroud and Tammy Abraham look like they're going to leave as well. So strikers are definite. But I think it all sort of depends on who goes as well. Because we're hearing, obviously, Emerson might be going to Inter Milan. I think they were supposedly interested in him for a potential swap deal with Lukaku with cash as well. So we probably have to get another left back as a backup left back, and another one, maybe a centre back as well, just because we're playing this 3 at the back, and Thiago Silva is only staying for 1 more year, so we'll definitely need to replace him at some point. So.
And he seems to have been picking up injuries here and there.
Yeah, no, he has, to be fair. I wouldn't say he's been rushed back, but I think it's his age. Like, maybe the summer off, or maybe less football in the summer will actually help him get back into fitness, really. But yeah, striker, left back, centre back. You could also say maybe a winger as well, because there was one point in the season as well under Lampard where we had all our wingers injured, and it was just a shambles, really. So in terms of that luck, it was bad. So maybe a winger, but it's not priority. And then I'll probably see a DM actually because we really lack someone with a presence in midfield. Like fair enough, N'Golo Kante is he's superb and stuff, but we miss someone who just sits there like a Makelele or like a Matic. Even even like if Matic was in his prime, I'd take him back right now. Honestly,
we'll happily sell it back to Chelsea. Just get him out of the club.
Yeah, yeah, or even someone like a Højbjerg who sits in midfield. The ideal one is obviously Declan Rice, which obviously Manchester United after, loads of clubs after, but yeah, I think I'll probably say striker and DM are the two priorities, but as extras, maybe left back and a centre back. But yeah, that's what I think we need to really, really challenge. Because at the moment, I feel like we're almost there, but I don't think we're ready yet, depending on who we sign. So we just have to see. And it does take time with all these signings as well, because they've only been here, a year now. And in the first year, they've won the Champions League. So literally nobody can call them flops because they've all contributed. Ziyech has contributed, Werner's contributed, Havertz as well. Chilwell, as I said before, sensational. Thiago Silva, Mendy as well. So they've all contributed in a good ways. But I think also I'd like to give a shout out to Ziyech as well, because a lot of fans get on his back, but I actually think in the Champions League this season, I think he's been one of our best players. It goes unnoticed, but he's been really good. In the group stages, he's contributed quite a lot. Obviously got a goal against Atletico Madrid, was sensational that game as well. He was my man of the match against Atletico. He's done really well and he's pulled us through moments. And I've always said Ziyech will be that kind of player who will do well against the European teams, because Premier League might not be best suited to him at the moment. Maybe he'll adapt to that, but he's been sensational. So yeah,
he's also been injured a lot, so
he
people
has.
forget
And
really
I
quickly.
still think we should keep him because he's different to what we have right now. Like we don't have many wingers that are so good technically, because we have
Right.
Pulisic, who's like a goal poacher. He's amazing as well. Hazard-esque at times. I'm not saying he is Hazard, but when you see him play, he's
Somebody like Bernardo Silva playing off the right-hand side, who's creative.
like a Mahrez, yeah, as well. So I do think Ziyech can be that player for us, because
Right.
he's just different to what we have, and I truly believe we should value that, because even Mason Mount at times, like his final ball is not the best at times, and Ziyech, as we know, has done amazing at Ajax and stuff, and I feel that we should definitely keep him on for as long as we can. That's just my opinion anyway, but loads of fans will disagree and say sell him, but at 33 million, I do think we'll get profit for him if we do sell him, but we should 100% keep him.
Right. And we've seen in the past that Chelsea don't fear sacking managers, even if it's mid-season, if it's two manager season, even though it's not happened. But you guys will do it if it's needed and if it's best for Chelsea. Chelsea have always prioritized winning, no matter how bad the season is going, no matter what happens. You guys just want to win. And going into next season, what do you think will be Tuchel's breaking point? What would you consider to be a breaking point in Tuchel's managerial career at Chelsea?
As in, where do you think it'll go all wrong? Or
do you think? I mean, what would be the bare minimum that you expect from him?
Oh,
because
okay.
In the first 6 months, he's won the Champions League, so
yeah,
expectations must be high.
Yeah, that's true, because I think it just all depends on who we sign in summer, because it is clear that we need players. But if we're talking minimum, top four in a trophy, I think, or top four in a trophy, I'd say. Maybe get a Carabao Cup, FA Cup, as well as top four. That's the minimum. Like you can't sack Tuchel if he gets top four in a trophy. That's just, you can't, because that's a successful season. But I think that would be the minimum. Anything below that, maybe. See, even like if you got top four for us next season again, say we finish fourth or third with no trophy, then I don't know. It's difficult. Like Roman Abramovich is unpredictable. Like I don't know. I think he would keep Tuchel on just because Champions League money is valuable, and being there generally is amazing as well, just because of the attraction of players, and it's the Champions League, isn't it? So I'll probably say top four/top four in a trophy is minimum. But anything, if we finish outside top four, then he definitely has to go, I think.
All right. And we've known that you've had ups and downs, but I know the answer to this question, but I'm still going to ask it. Who is your player of the season?
Mason Mount, 100%. Without any question or debate at all. He's carried our Chelsea team through, which which I don't agree with personally. He shouldn't do at that age. He should be sort of eased in, like say like a Mason Greenwood or a Phil Foden. But taking on responsibility at that age as well is kind of good as well, because you just know you'll be future Chelsea captain, just like Frank Lampard was at times, obviously retiring the team. But you see, it is weird because he started off the season quite badly. He started off the first 4 or 5 games quite badly. Like a lot of Chelsea fans were demanding him to be dropped because he was overplayed. Even I was one of them. I was like, just drop this guy because he's not performing at the moment and he's playing left wing. And we've seen how good Mason Mount is when he gets a rest as well, and he's used to it. His body's used to it now. The fact that he can play so many games as well, and even the assist for Havertz, man. Like I didn't believe that was Mason Mount because I thought Mason Mount wouldn't have that ability to do that. I was like, wow, I can't believe this kid's done.
Right, and he was quite invisible before that assist. I mean, he just turned up, made that assist out of nowhere. Before that, he wasn't a presence in the midfield at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think off the ball he was really good, because what a lot of people don't notice is his work off the ball. That's why he's regarded as one of the best, because he's the perfect box-to-box midfielder as well, because he helps the team going back and going forward. But he rarely gets the ball as well. If you watch Chelsea games, he rarely touches the ball, because most of the time he's helping out forward and back, which is why I think our midfield complements that in a sense, because Jorginho is not the most mobile, and it makes up for the fact that Mount can bomb forward and back. And Mason Mount's played like 4 or 5 positions. He's played centre forward strike at times. He's played left wing under Lampard. He's played centre mid under Lampard. He's played as a pivot in the back 5. Sorry, not in the back 5, but in the back. In the back 5 in the midfield too. He's played there as well. He's played right forward, left forward. So this guy's just versatile as well. Which is why it's handy to have him in the team. And he's at one point when things were going bad under Lampard, he seemed like the only guy who actually cared and really put in the effort. So I can't praise this guy enough. I do think I'm gonna say it now, he's generational in my opinion. Like maybe at the time under Lampard I wouldn't have said no, but he keeps getting better and better, and I think it'll be the same with him. So congratulations to him as well, because I think he's won officially Player of the Season for Chelsea, like for our club and stuff. So he truly deserves that.
All right. I have just 2 more questions for you. So
yeah.
First of all, how do you compare this team to the team in 2012? Because both Champions League winners, and that team had a lot of legends in it. And this team probably does not have a lot of big names in it, but functionally it is as good.
Yeah, it's a tough question, because if you're looking on paper, then you 100% say this team won it this year. But it's a tough question, because in terms of mentality, the 2012 team had the mentality to win it, because even back then, I don't think anyone or any Chelsea fan could predict we won. So I also think it's a bit of luck that we won it in 2012, because that was on our side. But this year, 100% was not luck at all. We didn't get fluky in any games or anything. We truly deserved it. But I think 2012, we obviously had players like John Terry, Lampard, Drogba, Ashley Cole, Petr Cech as well. The big 5 or 6, as you like to say. But I do think this year's team was better than the 2012 team. But in terms of mentality, 2012 any day, but just because we didn't give up. Even at times for our run in the Champions League, we always sort of struggled. I remember against Napoli, we played in the last 16, we were down, we came back. I think we played Benfica after that. I was a walk in the park, that was easy. Barcelona as well, we were down, we came back through that as well. Same with Bayern Munich, but I don't think the team today would have done what the 2012 team would have did, and the 2012 team would have done what we did. So it's two different teams, and there's 2 different ways of winning the Champions League. And so the team back in 2012 just showed great character, to be honest, compared to this one. But obviously I love both. But yeah.
All right. So we know at this podcast that you are really good at making predictions, because you predicted the winners of the Europa League and the Champions League. So before the summer window happens, before anything happens, I just want to get your predictions in for the next season. Where do you think Chelsea will finish, and what trophies will you end up with, if any?
That's tough. So obviously we finished 4th this year with the Champions League. I'd say next season, I think we'll finish second. I truly think we'll
Okay.
finish second next season, and I think we'll get a trophy. Not sure which one, but I do think we'll get a trophy, and I think we'll finish second. I think, had it not been for the first half of the season, I truly think we would have finished third or second. We might have taken United's place, I think, because there was a certain time when United were dropping points as well. Start of the season, then sort of towards the end of the season as well. I do think we'll finish second. I think Man City are still there. They're the team to beat. No doubt Liverpool will be back as well with Van Dijk coming back, Gomez. Obviously, they got Konate now, and maybe fans coming back as well might help Liverpool as well. So they'll definitely be back. And I'll probably say second place and a trophy. That's what I expect from next season. That's early predictions, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, when the actual season comes to start and stuff.
All right.
And so, how the Euros go, obviously, yeah.
Obviously, yeah. So that's wrap. I don't probably have any more questions for you, but just again, congratulations on winning the Champions League. Just being such an amazing team that beat Man City and 3 times in 6 weeks.
We have to get better on this every time now. We have to make Man City lose every single game now, just so that they can just stop ruling football, because it's getting scary now, the fact that we're on the same sort of Premier Leagues as Man City now. But obviously, we've got those 2 Champions Leagues, which is vital, as well as Arsenal can say what they want about league titles and stuff. I don't think we're bigger than them yet, but I definitely think we're heading in the right direction. We will definitely overtake them, I think, soon. We're 2 champions? Because even having European trophies counts. Like, regardless, like you said, bread and butter about the Premier League. Having European pedigree is massive as well. You see with teams like Ajax, even Nottingham Forest. Like, Nottingham Forest, obviously not a big club right now, but they've got more Champions Leagues than both of our clubs put together. So
they have 1 though.
Don't they have 4? I swear they have 4. Don't they? Nottingham Forest, something like
then
that.
They don't have, then they don't have more than both of us put together. I don't think Nottingham has 4.
You guys got 2, yeah.
We got 3.
Oh, you got 3, yeah. I keep thinking you guys got 2 for some reason. I keep thinking we're level in Champions Leagues, but yeah. And then also
one was the old European Cup that since Bobby Charlton and that team won. But the current form of Champions League, we have 2 of those.
2, yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys got 3, we got 2. So we just have to see really what happens in the future.
Yes. So Nottingham Forest have won the European Cup twice, despite having played only 20 games in the competition.
Wow.
And Aston Villa have won.
Yeah, it's just crazy. That just proves how big European pedigree is, because teams like those are still big today, regardless where they are, league position or league generally as well. It just shows that it's massive. So having that on our side is definitely good. But unless you're Tottenham, you have no trophies at all, then you're just irrelevant. So yeah.
Arsenal have won more than Tottenham, so
yeah.
Can't really put them in the same
They're
sentence.
definitely bigger, but I do think Chelsea get in there, and I wouldn't disagree with any Chelsea fan. I would say Chelsea bigger than Arsenal, but I do still think they're bigger than us just because of the size of the club, the fans, and everything. But we're definitely heading in the right direction.
Believe me, you don't want Arsenal fan TV.
No chance. No chance. No. They've all sort of ignored Chelsea winning the Champions League, which is great because they just know they're taking the L, man, which is fine. But yeah, any thoughts on Chelsea for you, bro? I'll pin it to you, man.
I'm just glad you beat City, and I've been saying it again and again. That was a brilliant performance in the final, and you did it 3 times in the last 6 weeks.
Also, shout out Reece James, man. I don't want to hear any slander on Reece James because he was superb in that final, and he has been throughout the whole season.
He absolutely is. I mean, I understand where you come from when you say that he's one of the top right backs, but I still don't understand why you would compare him to Trent, because yes, defensively I would say Reece James is far better than Trent, but the quality on the ball that Trent has.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I think Trent on the ball is superb. Like, I'm not saying Trent's not good at all. I'm not Gareth Southgate, for God's sake, but Trent on the ball is really good. But I also feel that it's sort of the other players' faults at Chelsea that we're not converting. Otherwise, Reece James's stats would be, I'm not saying as good as Trent's, but they would be close. But that's just on our strikers and our forwards. But if you compare to Liverpool's forwards with Mane, Salah, Firmino at times as well, done it consistently, world-class players, top-class players, where Trent's given the service. So that's just the way I see it. But because right backs, you have to be good going forward and back. That's just the way it is these days. Like whereas back in the day, obviously you had players like Gary Neville who were good defensively. Ivanovic as well at times. He had a goal for it, but he was really, really solid defensively. It's a shame about Wan-Bissaka that he's not that great going forward, because he definitely would have been a perfect player right now for the past, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
He would have been superb. He would have been, I think, one of the best. I just think it's the wrong sort of time for him. But Reece James can do both. It's just the fact that our forwards are just not as good as Liverpool's, I think, and that's why he's not really got the stats that Trent has. But don't get me wrong, Trent is superb. He's I think world class. Maybe I don't know about generational, but world class / generational. And what he's achieved at Liverpool is sensational. I do think Reece James is on that path as well. So yeah,
he's won the Champions League now, just like Trent.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just the Premier League title to go.
Exactly, yeah, which will come soon. These players are young as well. Let's remember that as well.
Yeah.
I think our average age is something like 24, 25. Aspilicueta and Thiago Silva are the only ones that are old as well. The rest of them are quite young. So yeah. Should we wrap this up now, or do you want to talk about Chelsea? Yes. Let us know what you think about Chelsea season. If you agree with what I said or disagree, then put it in the comment section below. But all I can say is Champions of Europe, man. Champions of Europe. That's it. Subscribe to our channel as well. Peace.